Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today it's the 4th of July 2026. It's 39 minutes past 5 here in the United Kingdom this evening. Back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in the recent released Contrail Falcon FA50 business jet. Now, business jet flying is a rare thing on this channel. I don't know why, in any particular reason. We just don't seem to fly that often. I think it's been a couple of years since we last flew a business jet. But thank you to Contrail who sent me this aircraft a couple of weeks ago. I've just had no opportunity to stream it. In fact, it's such a complex aircraft and so well modelled. I wanted to take some time to do some test sectors, get up to speed with operating it. Now, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing, but at least I could do the checklist, set up the aircraft appropriately, and manipulate the automation. And then we're going to try today, flying into Nice Côte, the really challenging RMP arrival with a visual approach to around a 3-mile final. So I've really given myself a challenge today, but it's a fantastic add-on. It's really well modelled. There's a lot of in-depth modelling and systems modelling going as well. Lots of nice shortcuts with the aircraft to help manipulate the autopilot and control. So I hope I'll do it some justice today. It's an iconic business jet, the Falcon FA50, made by Dassault in France. Quite an old jet really, but still you don't find many trijet business jets flying around these days. So yeah, massive thank you to Contrail for sending it over today. Now, what are we doing for this sector? Well, I already mentioned our departure, our arrival airport of Nice Côte. We're flying from Farnborough, United Kingdom. This is one of the main business aviation hubs close to London. It's only pretty much business jet traffic here. Very nicely modelled here. This is one of the default scenery or world update airports available in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Look, so it's nice hangars looking as per real life, and here is our Dassault Falcon FA50, completely cold and dark with the covers on. Very nice extended model. You see I am, what a prat. In there with my cap on backwards from my career mode. But there we are, looking very, very nice. Our registration say Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra for Flight Data Sim. Chosen this real world livery as well. I think it's a Malta registered livery and aircraft. Very nice design. It has reverser on engine number 2 as well to assist with deceleration. But the perfect sector today to fly from Farnborough, Nice Côte. Flight time around 1 hour and 25 minutes, probably about 30 minutes to get the aircraft set up. Live time, live weather, really nice day to go flying. 27 degrees here in Farnborough, and similar nice evening in Nice later for a sunset arrival. Anyway, who have we got here in chat this evening? Good day to Steve 4005. Better to have your cap on backwards than your head. Absolutely, hope you're doing well. Face link Bob, excuse me. Very corporate look, Captain. Thank you very much. It was my favourite livery out of a lot. Leafing Cabins AO used to do a lot of KF these back in the day. Not sure what that says. They usually park them parallel to the hangar. Okay, I think the default spawn position has them sort of head on, but there is a really cool utility actually included. I'll probably use GSX today, but you can use this with a little electric motor there. There you are, a little electric pushback tool. We could perhaps use that today. That's included with the add-on, which is a nice touch. Who else we got here? Kieran Proctor, good evening to you as well. Josiah Plays, good afternoon to you coming from the American States. Happy Independence Day to all my American friends as well. Tim Waters, good day to you. Nothing wrong with a little delay, like I've never been away. Absolutely. Where have you been all this time? Unbelievable. But yeah, the aircraft is really well modelled, as I mentioned, and I downloaded it last week and thought, yeah, I'll stream this as soon as possible. And I got into it and said, oh my god, that's going to be quite a steep learning curve here. But there's some fantastic documentation included with the aircraft via web browser websites. So if I bring that up here on Chrome, you should be able to see it come up any second. Here we are. So you have this fantastic document which goes into so much detail about all the hidden click spots, the EFB app here, the systems on the aircraft, the avionics, the performance, the procedures quick start checklist, which I'm following here. It does skip a lot of the sort of pre-flight checks, such as all the stall warning and fire warning tests, but let's get the aircraft set up correctly and as quickly as possible. And then I have another tab here for the GNS-XLS FMS, which is a little bit complex. I think it's the same one fitted to the Starship. I think that was the last time we saw it, but that's what's included with the aircraft. Really reasonably priced at 28 odd quid as well. So for the amount of modelling and details you get, it looks very nice indeed. Anyway, what we'll do then is a little bit of an external walk around. So if I jump into the cockpit like this and then press Shift C to go back into the walk around mode, there we are. So I forgot to mention, it includes the EFB tablet here with a much more detailed checklist if you want to follow it here, but we're just going to do the walk around to show you the external model, because it's a beautiful looking aircraft here. Eddie Mambo, thank you very much for the 47 months as a member. Ahoy, Skipper, too many engines for such a small aircraft. I know, a trijet for a 9-seater business jet is unbelievable. Cheers, buddy, hope you're doing well, and thank you very much for popping in. Now, there's not many people watching here at the moment. I don't know if you saw my recent post about adverts appearing on live streams. I found out it's completely outside of my control. It seems that even in the manual mode, ads are being added. So what I've done, YouTube have given a new mode called scheduled ads, and I put it to the maximum allowed amount of 30 minutes. Some people commented in my post that they were seeing ads every 6 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous, and I've set it to this manual mode for years and years and years. So I put on scheduled, which says every 30 minutes for an ad, which is the sort of minimum amount I can show. I hope it makes a difference. Please provide feedback in that post on community, and I'll see if there's anything else I can do. But anyway, I digress from today's stream. I do apologise that they've been appearing during these streams. Anyway, as we do the walk around, we've got lots of things to do. We can remove all the pitot covers, and obviously you do a detailed inspection of all the ports here. Going down to our knees, you can actually connect the torque link here for pushback, and then release it to allow the nozzle to be free from the hydraulic system. We'll open the door shortly. It's such a beautiful design. I love these sort of flush landing lights, and the way they've got this huge perspex sort of glass which matches the fuselage for aerodynamics. It's a really sleek looking aircraft when it's completely clean with the gear and flaps up. Nathan, which one of the recently released BizJets would you recommend? So many recent releases. I know I've not had much time to look at them. I mean, I'd thoroughly recommend this one because it's in my library, but I know there's been is it an accurate, well, you guys know more than me. I need to check them all out, but it's taken me enough time to learn how to fly this. Anyway, left main gear is fine. We can go along the leading edge of the wing. Very clean looking here. Has slats and trailing edge flaps. They're all retracted here. The ailerons are in the correct position. I looked on the tutorial video and saw that when the aircraft takes off, these actually, with the airflow, begin to straighten up, which is pretty cool. Better take off the engine covers. We don't want those on whilst we try to start the engine. There you go. You can see it starts spinning in the airflow. And you have a little baggage storage area here which you can open. It's all interactive. When you load up cargo in the back here, you can see some random stuff in here, like bags and handbags and things like that, which is pretty cool. Working back here, look at the tailpipes. You have 3 engines to identify. I actually can't remember what engine manufacturer this is, but the detail here is really nice. You can see the reverse bucket on engine number 2. And you have all the APU inlets here as well. There's the APU exhaust, which will start momentarily. Now, if you decide to do so, you can refuel here using the refueling panel. So let me find the click spot. There you are. So if you open this, it spawns a random fuel truck, and you can actually refuel the aircraft here. So you can press this, connect the pipe, choose your fuel, and control fueling that way, which is pretty cool. It's very... I think Phoenix has all these features. Now, I'm actually going to use the... tablet to load this. It's a little bit more accurate than that way. Oops, I've accidentally clicked the click spot for the baggage there. So yeah, really, really nice. And then obviously repeat the walk around there. Hello, my lovely. Hope you're doing well. Check the nav lights, the leading edge devices. Check the gear condition. Fantastic. I love the size of the windows on this jet as well. Perfect. And then you can complete the walk around from the front here. Not sure what that is. Some sort of pitot tube or static port. There we are. Amazing. Very nice external model. Let's open the door. We'll do a cabin tour en route. GSX, you can see all the passengers on board, which is pretty cool. We'll walk up the stairs and then go back into the cockpit. There we are. I thought you'd like that little walk around anyway, showing off some of those features. Cheers, Tim. Yes, they're Garrett 231 jet engines. No doubt very old now, but I don't think it's the most fuel efficient business jet, but we don't care about that virtually. We can burn as much fuel as we like. Anyway, let's get some electrical power connected to this aircraft. So on the overhead panel, DC power selector, make sure that's on. We'll turn on the batteries. There we are. So we have some electrical power connected to the aircraft. Put on the boost pump because we're going to use the APU to power up the aircraft and not the GPU. Nav lights, make sure they're on. Tells the ground crew that we're going to power the aircraft. Sorry about the sound effects outside as a moped drives past my house on the main road. And now we're going to start the APU. To start the APU, what you've got to do is turn on the APU master switch and then turn the generator on. Wait a second for the start light to illuminate. There it goes. Press start. There we are. Oops, open the bus tie. Yeah, forgot to do that. There we are. You get these little quick reminders come up, which is pretty helpful. There we are. Start the APU. The APU is very loud. It doesn't take too long to start. Very small generator back here. Pax 217 man, no perfect amount of engines for this aircraft, plus what's that the design so that it could cross over the ocean? Yes, I think back there, but when was this first designed and flew? The 70s, I think, for sort of redundancy. Operators were looking for sort of 3 engines, and it was actually used, and still is used, by a lot of governments and military air forces to carry military personnel and the heads of state. Essentially, it's a very well designed, well built aircraft, but originally having 3 engines, it gives you that sort of reliability and backup, which people wanted back there. Okay, good. So the APU is running. The generator's already on, providing power. We verify the batteries are charging, which is the case on the overhead panel. We'll get the APU bleed on as well, because it's 27 degrees outside. So bleed on. You'll see the airflow increasing, and a slight increase in the APU exhaust gas temperature, and you probably get an increasing noise back here. Yes, so loud with that APU running there. Impressive that it registers your individual call sign. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can change your call sign in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it updates it there, which is a really neat feature. I'm just going to turn the sim down slightly. It's super loud there. Catherine, thank you very much for your continued support as a member. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for popping into today's live stream. Almost a year as a member. Thank you very much indeed. Great, so the APU bleed is on. I've just read something. It says make sure the APU is running for 2 minutes before you start using the bleed air. That's the same as the 737. I've just whacked the bleed on straight away. Whoops, never mind. We can now turn on the static inverters. So these convert the DC power into AC. EFIS panel. Oh, hold on. What have I done here? I've already forgotten to do something. There we are. Close the bus tie, and no, that was it. I don't just press AC bus. EFIS 1 and 2 is now on, and turn on the radio master switches to power up the aircraft. There we are. So still getting used to the configuration of this aircraft. So the inverters I've now checked are on. We can align the IRS, which will take, based off this latitude, probably around 8 minutes or so. So 1 and 2 both on the captain's and first officer's side. It's such a strange mix of sort of retro steam gauges and digital as well, with sort of CRT displays, but the overhead panel is very well designed. Just finding all the switches and information you need is up there. Great, so we'll turn on the Garmin MX20, which we'll use for navigation or to check the routing in the FMS. Select map. We'll now turn on the GNS-XLS, so just press on here, and on that side it's just going to start the initialization process and do a self-test. Just give it a second. Whilst that's going on, more GSX, we're going to see... Oops, don't forget. Sorry, GSX, you're quite right. Parking... Yes, parking brake is set. So difficult to keep GSX happy sometimes. Request boarding. We'll use the airplane stairs, and we'll have service air. There we are. So it does connect a little pushback tug, and we're going to get passengers bussed over to us momentarily. Catherine says, which Alpaca Airways executive are you flying around today? Jack and some other people on the board. You'll see them. GSX puts the passengers on board, which is pretty cool. Vids FX, hello from Q8. Eddie Mambo, he's just repositioned the aircraft after dropping off execs for the Flight Sim Expo in London. There you go, perfect. Right, initialization's complete, so ident...
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Echo Golf Lima Foxtrot, enter. Enter, and there we are. We're now ready to load the flight plan in. So, full sim brief integration. Now, one thing I want to highlight, the EFB tablets here, it utilises the default Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 EFB, which is absolutely fine, and they've created their own app within this called Contrail FA50. Now, you can use Navigraph charts, so by pressing this, you need to ensure that via the Navigraph hub you have the EFB charts app. Now, I don't know about anyone here in chat, the EFB charts app in the default tablet don't think for every user, but certainly for me, and certainly according to Google and Reddit, it causes so many micro stutters and massive lag. It did in my case that I uninstalled the EFB app and I used the third-party charts app anyway whilst streaming on my second monitor. So just be aware of that. If you use the EFB Navigraph Charts app and use the charts and moving maps, for me, at least on my PC, caused so much stuttering and delay, and it's quite a common issue online, so I did uninstall it. But you can still use the Contrail app as usual within the EFB with no stutters or issues. So main doors connected, torque links disconnected for pushback. The bucket brake sets will actually remove the chocks here, so that's pretty much all configured and set. Weight and balance you can simply download from SimBrief. Now there we are, it's loaded the passengers and fuel, and there we are, 9 passengers on board already, and look, you can already see them. They're staring at me. The cabin crew is going to go make sure they've got their seatbelt signs on there. Yes, they do look like corporate passengers. So passengers loaded. CG it's quite forward, but it's within limits. Fuel wise, it's all in pounds. The reason it is in pounds, I've got the SimBrief OFP in pounds, and all the gauges are in pounds, and you can't change the kilos. So if you look here, SimBrief is loading. We need 5908, which is on board. The weather en route is fine. It's really nice, and Nice is cav okay. So I'll just round this up to £6,000 just to allow for the APU running on stand, but that should be fine for us. And I'll instantly refuel the aircraft. If we look at the gauges, we should have £2,000 exactly in each tank. So there we are, £2,000, 3 sides there. Perfect. Gary says, don't you leave the bus tie in until engine start, otherwise battery 1 will drain. Not sure, Gary, you're probably absolutely right. So are you suggesting I'd put that out of normal position until after engine start? I've got the APU on with the generator, so I guess it's just draining on the left side. Oh yes, I can actually see. I think you're right. Oh, there we are. I've opened the bus tie breaker anyway, so they're both transfer buses are powered there. CM Belit, did you install the experimental 4 update? I have. This tablet says 101, but this is version 4. I downloaded it yesterday, the most recent experimental version, to ensure that it has all the updates included. Perfect. So let's load the FMS before we set up the rest of the aircraft here. So there's your flight plan. You can press this here. Press enter, and then it copies it directly from SimBrief. So we have all the waypoints. You just need to put the SIN star in. We can cross-check that against the operational flight plan. Here, there's our lateral routing. 04 left in use. We'll do the RMP, and then the visual procedure for that arrival later. So Zamab, right down to Tuvar, Nisar, and then we're going to fly the Nisar 8 Tango arrival. So that's all good. Select this, enter, and that's loaded it into the operational flight plan, which is great. Now let's select the SID. So departure, it's definitely runway 24 today. It will be the Goodwood 2 Foxtrot. Select, enter, and that now puts all of the SID waypoints in. Later on, we'll be flying the arrival Nisar 8 Tango. So Nisar, enter, 8 Tango, enter, select, and then the approach. Enter, oops, will be runway 04 left, and we're going to fly the RNAV Alpha, I think. I'm just going to double check here. I've got the charts open. Yeah, RMP Alpha, oops, enter, via the MUZ NDB. So the star terminates at MUZ, coming in from that point, and then vector ourselves towards Mike November 410. So enter, select, and there's loads of waypoints there, 7 pages worth. Look, so you can see after MUZ it goes manual sequence, so vectors towards Mike November 141. Actually it goes up here, look, so we might vector ourselves towards that point, then Mike November 140, but we can self position or something like that. And then yeah, look at this approach, really cool. Nice is very noise sensitive. They have an ILS available on 04, but for noise, they want you to fly this approach. This is preferred. So it's the Mike November 04 Alpha, descend to the MDA, and then you fly visually like this onto the approach. Really awesome approach. That's the plan today. I practiced onto 2-2 and a couple of test sectors, went okay. So that's the plan, because this is the preferred approach into Nice, not the ILS. ILS is too boring and easy. But you would do it if the weather required you. Perfect. So FMS sort of laterally is all loaded. We now, just checking here, have got the route management complete. Flight plan. VNAV is now active by default, so it's already in climb logic to reach the stop altitude of 3,000 feet, which we'll set here. And that's it. You don't load the performance or anything like that. Your lateral routing is all set here. QNH is already preset there. So that's all pretty much done. Sit stop altitude we can set here, 3,000 feet. Very low stop altitude in Farnborough because of London airspace. And I'm just going to do a quick panel scan now. So this is all configured and set. Fuel pump on for the APU. Transfers closed, seatbelt signs on, and no smoking sign on. Lighting is all configured and set. Regarding the automation here, now this is a really nice touch. I love it when devs think about stuff like this. There's an option in here in the tablet, because the autopilot manipulation and the EFIS controls are down here on the pedestal. It's always a pain with aircraft like this, because you want to change something in the autopilot, you've got to go heads down, press the mode, look back up. You'll notice, this is optional, you can turn it off, but I've turned it on. You see these little bits of text here: course, heading, range, decision height, VS, out, autopilot, yaw damper. Contrail have added these shortcuts to assist you in manipulating the autopilot without having to look heads down. I love that. So for example, the range look, I can rotate this here. Hold on, let me just select HSI mode to the track, there we are. I can rotate the range look and it changes the scale here. Otherwise in real life you have to use this, and look, I changed the range but I can't see what I'm doing. The fact that they have these click spots, I really love these features. A few other click spots around. This aircraft has no auto throttle, but you can press this when you're in the cruise and it will maintain speed and set max continuous thrust on takeoff and things like that. So little shortcuts like that I appreciate devs put in when, you know, the default autopilot controls are not in an easy position to utilise the buttons and things. Great, so overhead panel scans done, that's all complete here. There's various fault and fire tests you can complete here. It's a bit cold in the cabin. I mean, I know it's cold outside, but I'll just bring some warmer air in. There we are. I love these gauges. They're so cool. Aircraft gross weight. So right now, our gross weight is 30,800 pounds. So you have this rotary knob here. Set that here, and you can see it count down as you burn fuel on the sector. 30,300 set, and then you have the fuel used here. It's all in pounds. Pressurization is set, it's all automatic. You've got manual pressurization is required. You'd obviously check your oxygen masks here. On the pedestal, no ADF required for departure. We'll do a flaps departure 2000 standby, and the radio aids. It's an RMP departure, so I'll leave it set as it is. Perfect. So we've done a good panel scan to make sure everything's configured correctly. Before engines start then, we just verify the generator switches are all on. Engine computer switches are all on. Parking brake up set. We'll now close the cabin door. The first officer can do this, so the cabin crew's bucketed off. There's our illustrious passengers. Is that kind of Stella? Oh no, it's Royal Brewer. Whatever that is. Anyway, we'll do a cabin tour later. Closing the cabin door. Oh, Nightbot. Why does Nightbot do that? It's just gone absolutely bonkers. There we are. Cabin doors closed. Ready for pushback. The pins in. Very nice. Ruben, hello, Sam and chat. I've flown this bed 5 or 6 times since release. It's really fun, but needs some practice. Me too, Ruben. I'm getting there, but I'm now at a stage where I'm happy to, or confident enough to get you safely from A to B, I think. Right. Slave the artificial horizon. Cabin doors closed. Seatbelt signs are on. Emergency exit lights. Don't forget to arm those. And yeah, we're ready for engine start, so we can turn all the boost pumps on. Ignition is in ground start, and we start engine number 2 first. Have we got an ATC here? Oh, we do actually. Towers online 1222780. So let's tune those guys up. 22780. V-pilot shows that active. 8 information, I didn't copy, but it is information Bravo, 1620 Zulu, runway 24, transition level 70, it's 26 degrees, QNH 1025, which I set pre-stream, altimeter 3027, and that's set here on the default Garmin GPS. So lovely weather, and before I get the clearance, just do the performance. So it's very basic calculator, just showing you the takeoff run available based off your gross weight, which is absolutely fine. We use slaps plus trailing edge flap 20 based off a power setting of 98.8, V speeds 99, 111, 126. Just simply press sync bugs, sync weights, and it will set all your bugs, and the first officer will make the appropriate calls during the takeoff roll. Takeoff run required then, dry runway, which it is 3,700 feet. We go here to the charts. Farnborough, takeoff. So we can vacate via, depart from Bravo, so we don't have to backtrack all the way to Alpha. So Bravo intersection. You can see here, runway 24, Bravo. We need 5,997 feet. We need 3,700 for takeoff. So absolutely fine for Bravo intersection. The sort of shortest distance there. Amazing. That's all done. These speeds are set. Yeah, sorry guys, I forgot to brief the taxi and SID. So we're going to push back here, face northeast, Bravo, Delta. Oh no, it's all Bravo, sorry. And then we don't need to go via Alpha, we can depart via Bravo. And then the SID, Goodwood 2 Foxtrot, RMP, Lima Foxtrot Whiskey 02. 740 feet, and then Lima Foxtrot Whiskey 02, max speed 210 knots, so I can actually bug 210. Can I do that here? Yeah, bug 210 knots here, so I'm manipulating that. The speed control, but I'm also using my not wind control, Thrustmaster joystick, but it's very slow, so I might use it manually. I actually don't know where the speed bug is in this thing. I think I can rotate this, there we are, 210. So we bugged the speed restriction. ASLAP, Isulu, Hazel. There's the next page. Lima Foxtrot Sierra 0405, and then Goodwood, and it's to maintain 3,000 feet for the entire SID. There we are. Ruben, have you configured VNAV? Yes. So the latest experimental update sets it to climb automatically, and all the pages should be loaded accordingly. There we are, 3,000 feet. But I'm going to do a sort of, I'm going to use raw data departure, thinking pitch, and we'll select VS approaching 3,000 feet straight away, and follow the FMAs. And remember, this aircraft has no auto throttle, so you've got to manipulate the thrust manually. And yeah, if you look here, I've got all three thrust levers. Oh no, because I've got them locked at the moment. Yeah, all three engines have to be moved individually, which is pretty cool. Right, we've briefed the SID, 3,000 feet set. Let's get our clearance and request push and start. Farnborough Tower, good evening. Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra, stand 12 with Bravo at QNH 1025, departure clearance to Nice, please.
Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra, Farnborough Tower, hello, cleared Nice, Goodwood 2 Fox, departure, squawk 7024, information, Charlie current.
Mr. Charlie later, and cleared to Nice, Goodwood 2 Foxtrot, squawk 7024, Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra.
Golf Tango Sierra, back correct, advise if you require push.
AFM will request push and start, please, in about 2 minutes.
Golf Tango Sierra.
Yeah, I think here you wouldn't have a tow bar, you'd just start engines, but I think here... oh, let's do a pushback. It's all connected. So, squawk can go in, which is 7024. 7024. And we're ready for push and start, so I can move the transponder to transponder, out reporting on. Do I have to press enter here? Don't like how it's sort of highlighted still. Oh, there we are, 7024 and 3,000 feet. Perfect, we are ready to go. Thought you were going to use the robot mode for pushback. Yeah, well, I've got the toggle connected now, and yeah, I need to start the engines. Maybe another time, but you can use it. I tried it and it worked quite nicely. Golf Tango Sierra, stand 12, request push start.
Golf Tango Sierra, vision start approved, face to the north.
Push start approved, face north, Golf Tango Sierra. Perfect, so we're cleared to push and start. GSX, come to me. Prepare for pushback and departure. Oh, she's not quite ready yet, not a problem. Oh, while she's getting the locking gear connected whatnot, we can get ready for engine start. So anti-collision light on, red, boost pumps all on, ignition ready, and then start the engines. So we hold down this for 2 to 3 seconds, confirm N2 rises, and when N2 is above 10% fuel on. Quick edit pushback on map. Perfect, something like that.
Release parking brakes, please.
Perfect. Parking brake released. Oops.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Frenchie, thank you. 4 years. Sadly missed my home airport stream due to being in a meeting. That's okay. Catching a stream at 1 AM is more my scene anyway. French, you missed our beautiful stream into Perth into the Gold Mine yesterday morning. Sorry you missed that, buddy. I hope you're doing well, and thank you very much for your 2 years as a member. Amazing. Right, starting engine 2. It's doing a thing. N1, N2, quite so quick. As soon as it's above 10% or 12% fuel on. Look at that light up. ITT N2. Oil pressure's rising. Oil temperature's slowly rising in the green. Never tried GSX this one. It wasn't too happy being pushing back the Sovereign. Should be okay. I did it yesterday and it worked all right. Cool. Good start on engine number 2. Starting 3. Doesn't matter if you do 3 or 1 first. Just do 2 first. Sorry. It doesn't matter if you do 3 or 1 second. Always do 2 first. If that makes sense. Oh, I've got to be quick here. Fuel on. Awesome. Okay, engine number 3 looks stable, starting 1. You can see the load it takes on the battery. Lights up so fast.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Cool.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Quick question, guys. Been streaming for 35 minutes. Has anyone received an ad yet? Hopefully not. I mean, yeah, silly system. Alright, I can pop the tablet away for now. Alright, pin scene, tug scene, excellent. You should set up the pressurization panel. It is set, isn't it? What do you... Did I do this wrong then? Do you set... Ah! Sorry, you set your altitude here. Well spotted. Yeah. I forgot. 43,000 feet. Perfect. Yeah, I thought I did that pre-stream anyway. Excellent. Source to FMS as well. Yes, this is why I like having you guys in chat. Perfect, there we are. And after start checklist. Engine parameters are all within limits. N1, N2 oil and temperatures. Batteries are checked. Generators are on. Bus ties in the flight normal position. Normal, so they're both isolated. Emergency exit lights are set. Radio master radios are set. Transponder set. Weather radar to standby. Get that warmed up for departure. Mac trim on. Compass headings and bearings are set. APU stop. And then hydraulic standby pump on. Engine computer manual mode checked on. Sliding windows closed. Hydraulic and pressurization all in the green. Quantity and pressures. Flight controls check. So I just turn on the yoke here just to make sure it's all matching what we're doing. There's the quick spot. Perfect. Full forward. Full back, left, right, and left. Perfect. Flight controls are checked. Altimeter set. Takeoff briefing complete. INS aligned. AP master switch when 0 RPM to off. There we are, the after start check's complete, ready for taxi. You can set data on your ND to TTG as well, that's more useful than elapsed timer. Yes, I guess it's using that here. I mean, I'll use it for now, but I'll play around with that in the cruise. I guess you can change all the information as required. Long indicators, landing altitude, I think. Really? Oh, no way. Oh, no way I had it set then. Alright, well, elevation, I'll put it back to sea level. I thought it was that way. Maybe I did it wrong. But I did this, and it didn't depressurize on my test sector. Well, there we are. This is where Hardwired to Fly 7.3 is different here than anything else. Cheers, Josh. Thank you very much for your support as a member. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members only Discord in chat. Thank you very much indeed. Let's request taxi. Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra, request taxi.
Golf Tango Sierra, able to depart from Bravo 1, or do you require the full length?
We're able to depart from Bravo 1, Golf Tango Sierra.
Golf Tango Sierra, length, taxi off of Bravo 1, runway 24 via Bravo, report ready.
Via Bravo, taxi Bravo 1, runway 24, Wilco, Golf Tango Sierra. Perfect, parking brake is released. Don't forget to turn on the window heat and probe heat. Well, I think that's on the before taxi flow anyway. Okay, perfect. Do a quick config check. Slats. Thanks for the shortcut. But again, I think it gets you to do it during taxi. And that's why we do these checks anyway. Are we moving? I think the parking rate was set, that's why. Perfect. Great, okay, that's good that the advert thing's working. Awesome. So, press GA. Thank you very much for the feedback there, Sam. I was going to do that on the taxi, but thanks for reminding, because I would have probably forgotten. So, go around mode is armed for takeoff, and we're on our way.
Farnborough Golf Indians, November Golf Echo.
I forgot about this aircraft. If you want it on, it switches up. It's different to the 7.3.
Thanks, Harold.
Oh, it's such a fantastic add-on. Now, question for anyone who loads this aircraft frequently. Now I've got GA armed and I've got 3,000 feet set. How do you get it to get to the out capture mode? Or do I have to select another pitch mode for that to arm? That's what I'm not so sure about. Look, it's a private Embraer there, very nice. So private, it's blanked his registration house. Amazing add-on. So detailed. Honestly, when I first downloaded this, I only need to do like 4 or 5 test sectors before I stream this. It would have been embarrassing watching me fumble around in this thing. There we are, all the way to Bravo 1 now. Yeah, pre-select altitude. You select nav after takeoff, then climb as you accelerate. Roger. I can actually select nav now, can't I, when I line up on the runway? Or do I do it after departure? Perfect, I'll select nav and climb, so... They're right next to each other. That's really good to know. I'm going to make a note of that. So for next departure, GA on yoke. Take off, set, climb, / nav. When you accelerate. Perfect. So I wasn't too sure about how that sequence works.
Golf, I get taxi, please. Golf, I get taxi on Bravo 1, runway 2,
cool.
Bravo, report ready.
Yeah, you got it. All mine is like this will be like a takeoff. Yeah, it's got
okay.
so much performance. This trijet here. Right, before we call ready, then we'll just run the before takeoff checklist. So brake selector is on option 1. Yeah, it's on option 1. Start selector switches to air start. Ignition on. Radar as required. Yep, turn the weather radar on now. So weather. Transponder to TARA. Peter heats and warning panel checked. We have no annunciations, anti-collision light to strobes. And we're pretty much ready to go, guys. arms. Oh, there we are, perfect. And we're at the whole point Bravo, ready for departure. There we go. Golf Tango Sierra, holding point Bravo, runway 24, ready for departure.
Golf Tango Sierra, thanks for Bravo 1, runway 24, clear takeoff to wind, westerly at 1.
Runway 24, cleared takeoff, Golf Tango Sierra. Good, cleared takeoff guys, we've already done the flow. So MCP really isn't much to set, transponder TARA, strobe lights are on, landing lights on, cleared takeoff, runway 24. Yeah, Mac trim is on. Mac trim is on, and standby pump is on as well. All done, Ruben.
Okay.
Perfect. Don't judge me on this takeoff. I've got to level off at 3,000 feet and ensure that I don't bust 3,000 feet. It's going to be a busy takeoff. Alrighty. So target M1. 98.8%.
Golf Echo, sorry. Golf Echo, thanks for Bravo 1 after departure, runway 24, cleared left-hand visual circuit, started with altitude 1,000.
Not in the visual circuit. Oh no, not in the 7.3 now, not very long aeroplane.
Feet to QNH 1.
Alrighty guys, there we are, lined up 2-4 in the Dassault Falcon FA50. Just don't have any pilot here. Perfect, right, let's start this timer. Elapsed timer, run, and it's ticking away. Perfect, let's go to Nice Côte. Perfect. Looks stabilised, nothing's peaking or exceeding any limits. Perfect, set takeoff thrust. There we are, right forward pressure. A bit more thrust there, speed's alive. Checked. Checked, release some forward pressure. Up we go. Gears coming up. The trim sounds like you're firing a machine gun from a Sopwith Camel. Love it. Alright, there's the left turn. So what we'll do down here is go to climb and nav. So it's already accelerating to 250, which I don't want it to do. So I want it to do 210 knots. Slowing the nose now to accelerate, flaps going up, trim nose down, climb thrust coming in.
Okay, ready on.
That's for me. Sorry, was that Golf Tango Sierra? Don't descend.
Golf Echo reporting ready.
Sorry, 210 knots, 210 knots. Just want to go to VS if I can. VS. Perfect. I think he said go to Unicom. Unicom Golf Tango Sierra. Right. So 210 knots. Perfect. Just adding a bit of thrust there to give me 210. PSA is armed. So not over speeding. We're good. The blue speed icon, I just need to reduce to 210 knots. There we are. It's the target speed. It's so slow to update on this here, it's really annoying. There we are, levelling off at 3,000 feet. I don't know what happened to my PSA. So the flight director is still commanding a climb, so I'm having to look through the flight director to level off at 3,000 feet here. Not sure why it's not leveled off or commanding 3,000 feet there. Well, probably it is. 209 knots. Decent speed control, wouldn't you say, ladies and gentlemen? Alright, there's 3,000 feet. Or maybe I'll just push altitude manually. No, I'm not sure why out hold. If I press down here, out, then... there we are, out. So now it's maintaining... Oh, why is it climbing? Why is it climbing? Out's engaged. Oh yeah, I know why. It's engaged the autopilot. The flight director is not commanding 3,000. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alright. Also, I engaged the autopilot. Autopilot's in. You're down for autopilot. Good stuff. Alright. Gonna run out of bullets soon.
656 Sandra Tower. Hello, Sandra.
Oh, it's in pitch mode now. Oh. Yes, hold on. Oh, honestly, I'm really struggling with this aeroplane, with the autopilot. Whoa, where's my flight director's gone? My flight director's just disappeared. And the autopilot's disconnected. Oh, I'm meant to be turning right here. Where's my flight director's gone? Right, this is why it's so challenging. Let's just go raw data for a second then. 216 knots. No idea where my flight director's gone. That's alright. Trying to stay on the SID here. Let's just get the flight directors back first. So I need to go. Right, nav, climb, 3,000 feet.
4655, just report your requested route.
Yeah, okay. I need to update the altitude now because I think it's just confused now. I'm at a higher altitude. Right, I'm not sure the pilot's back in now. Right, carry on the SID. I'm just going to climb up to flight level 100. Imagine we've got further climb. Climb. VNAV's engaged. I'll set climb thrust now. Now I've got PSA armed. I accidentally knocked out each mode. How did I knock out the modes? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna climb up to flight level 100. Set standard. Yeah, that's really interesting. I've done a number of takeoffs here and I've not run into any of those issues before. I had PSA armed for 3,000 feet and it sort of disappeared. Anyway, climb thrust is 97.1. Alright, that's set. And we're commanding 250 knots. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. I'm on the SID, max 250 knots at Hazel. Well, imagine we got a continuous climb. Turning off yaw damper, turned off the flight directors. Ah, so if you turn off the yaw damper on this aircraft, Ruben, Gary, it turns off all your flight directors. That's interesting. So you need the yaw damper on to have flight directors. I didn't know that. So I'm trying to work out his pilot error if I actually experienced a weird bug. So if I turn this off. Yeah, look at that. It does. Disconnects the autopilot as well. That would be what did it. Yeah, now I'm going to get it back in again. So autopilot, yaw damper. They're both sort of interlinked and we just need to reselect the roll mode, pitch mode. So nav, climb and VNAV. There we are. Interesting. You don't want to use VNAV on climb, oh really? That's what the tutorial says. But if you don't use VNAV, won't it not accelerate to 260 knots after 250? Ah, very good. Anyway, we got there in the end. One to go. We'll continue. I just want to see if it levels off actually at flight level 100. Standard set on the primary altimeter. Let's just see. PSA is armed. We'll take a bit of thrust off anyway to reduce the rate of climb. Should sort of like level change now. Yeah, PSA cap, that's good. It's levelling off at flight level 100, so that's good. Then you obviously no thrust, autothrottle, you've got to manually reduce thrust. Alright, I'm just going to sit at flight level 100 whilst you do the after takeoff checklist and further climb. Should be on Unicom here anyway. Still on tower. God, the workload on this thing is high, you know. Alright, cool. So 246 knots, level at flight level 100, and it does the flight director just chase a little bit. I'm sure it probably doesn't do that in real life, but it's okay. Cool. Should you go 300 knots when passing flight level 100? Yes, but we're just level here at 250. Just want to do the after takeoff checklist before we climb further, guys. What a high workload aircraft. Right, after takeoff, gears up, anti-ice not required, yaw dampers on, slats are clean, hydraulics checked. Start selector switches to ground start. Turns off the continuous ignition. Taxi light off. Okay, it's level at flight level 100 as well. Release the cabin crew. Start smoking. Lights can come off now. Taxi light off. Monitor's on. Pressurization. Let's just check this then. Altitude's 0, diff pressure's 4.5, so definitely pressurised. Cabin temperature's fine. Maybe warm it up a little bit now. There we are, checks complete. Right, cruising at flight level 430 today. Because we can. Set. Oops. 430 checked. Climb. Add climb power manually. 97.5. Do you know what these sounds like? These engine sounds like? Who remembers the default Learjet? It has that same, I guess it's the same engine. Remember the default Learjet 45 in FSS 2002, 2004? It's got that sound. Oh, it's amazing. Careful, set your pressurization flight level. How do you do that? Because is that with the big needle? Because I did that pre-flight. I set that to like this, look, 43,000 feet, but someone said no, set that to 0. So is that correct? So is that correct, 43,000? Yes, alright. Someone said don't do that. So I was right. Okay. Maybe I need to trust my instinct more. Oh yes, press the screw. Yes, I forgot there's a little click spot here. If you press this, there you go. It sets the climb thrust for you. Careful, you can see the cabin climbing now. Yes, I was wondering why I wasn't seeing them still. Yes, I can. Sorry, yes. Cabin climbing at about 700-800 feet per minute. That makes sense. Good. Learn something new every day. Wow. And look at these passengers, not aware that I was struggling massively on departure. They're so happy to be flying with me on this aircraft today. Amazing. You can have your screen out. All the parameters for today: our outside air temperature, time to destination. And there's the pool you'll be swimming in Monaco this evening. Wonderful. Amazing, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it so far. Had a bit of a meal at the departure, but it is a challenge to fly. Very unique in its automation logic and FMS, or certainly something I'm unfamiliar with. But look, we're flying, we're aviating, we've not killed anyone. That's the main thing. Quite the pensive lot at the back there, yes. Not terribly excited perhaps to go to Monaco. They do look very smart though, don't they? I mean, oh my goodness, not sure about his complexion. He's got a little bit of a ginger beard going on there, but there we are. Oh, he's got the same hairdo. Amazing. It's something. I'm very worried, I think. I love the fact that you can see the reflection, I think, of the cockpit in her glasses. At least they're moving around a little bit. I think this is a GSX thing as opposed to the add-on, but there we are. Open cockpit obviously, yes. No problem in Alpaca Executive. Friendship Pish, hope you're doing well. No horses on board, they're safe. Absolutely. No working toilet, I'm afraid. Passengers are having. Funny. Anyway, up we go. Airborne for 11 minutes, but obviously we spent some time at flight level 100 just checking all the systems before we climb further to our cruise of 43,000 feet. With the climb profile logic, so learnt as well you don't need to be in VNAV, which is pretty cool. So it has a sort of logic of maintaining 260 knots in the climb. There is another climb logic where I think if you press climb again, it climbs at a higher speed. So if I press that one more time, there you go. Look, it's now commanding 300 knots. So this is like the high speed climb regime, which is pretty cool. We'll do that because, you know, we are a trijet. And have a look at this aircraft clean, how smart it looks. Look at that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Obviously, rate of climb slowed down a little bit as the aircraft pitches down to accelerate to 310 knots, and as we approach that speed, it's going to start pitching up again to maintain that speed. There we go. What a high workload aircraft. I'll match the heading bug. There we are with my shortcut. And there's the south coast of the UK. Disappearing before us. Thrust rating's very nice. Flying just to the west of Paris, southbound. West of the Alps. Marseille our alternate today, and then onwards to Nice. I don't think we've done a stream into Nice before, have we? I'm not sure. 2 Tons, how are you getting on with your shifts? He says, I'm dragging today, trying to adjust to overnights, definitely having it up this afternoon before pressing on with a mock 10-hour shift later tonight. Absolutely, welcome to the aviation industry. I've done 15 years of getting up at stupid times, going to bed at stupid times, but you soon acclimatise. You do, you just adjust your sleeping pattern accordingly, which is sometimes why I stream at unusual times, usually the day before I go back to work, to adjust my body clock, which is a nice thing to be able to do. Yeah, set my standby altimeter, 29902. Perfect. God, who remembers that? Learjet 45 vibes that has. 2 Tons, 10:15 starts this week, then back to 0600 the following. Yes. Sounds all very familiar. Gosh. There we are, passing 25,000 feet, 15 minutes airborne. Does include that level segment at flight level 100. Crikey, what is this terrible song? Turn it down. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of sectors between Farnborough and Nice every week. Typical business jet route this is. I bet there's probably an aircraft going in between the two right now. There's some weather phenomena. I hope Microsoft Flight Sim addresses the turbulence modelling in this sim at some point. I think I've not tried the realistic setting for quite some time because it caused such difficulty in controlling aircraft on short final that I've been on the medium mode as recommended for quite some time. Leaving cabins, is there a way to get skinned or themed flight and cabin crew? With GSX, no, I don't think so, unless there's something I'm unaware of. It's pretty much just they dress in sort of default clothes. Eddie, it's possible to fly this with 2 engines only, not due to failure, but fuel economy and all. There's never an advantage if you have a jet engine to shut it down to save money, because that jet engine is all of a sudden now becomes a 2 or 3 ton mass. And a huge amount of drag. You want that fan blade spinning and drawing airflow through. A failed engine is just a lump of draggy metal, so there's never any advantage to shutting an engine down to save fuel in flight. But no doubt it can fly safely with an engine shut down. Maybe even 2, I don't know. I wouldn't want to fly around with 2 engines failed, but stay fingers crossed, yeah, we'll get some better live weather modelling in Sim Update 6. Well, certainly with regards to turbulence, the visibility and sort of static winds and temperature and whatnot seems to be quite well modelled. Yeah, same, Steve, same. Awesome. Yeah, I think Contrail have done a great job. Their first ever aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know if actually know Contrail have made any scenery before, but I think it's their first product. Sweet. But what? It's a niche aircraft, that's for sure. Pretty automated up here. Yeah, not bad for a jet that's 50 years old. Now passing 30,000 feet. I best actually check the tables. Current gross weight, call it 30,000 pounds. Can I actually get up to 43,000 feet? That's the question. Let's have a look here. So you have all of these tables. So how high can I cruise? So we're 30,000 pounds. So yeah, on a standard ISO day. Let's just check the ISO temperature actually. ISO top of climb is it's 0. So 30,000 pounds. Yeah, 43,000 feet. So that's as high as we can go. Weight's 30,000 pounds. So maximum speed Mach 8. Mach 8? Mach 0.8. So for 43,000 feet, ice a day. Yeah, what speed can we manage? 29,000, Mach 0.73. So we're gonna have to slow down really to step. Well, Mach 0.73 to keep us within the fly regime. No, not too close to low speed or high speed buffet. So we'll fly 0.73 once we get to the cruise. It looks like. Oh, look, it's literally just changed to maintain that speed now. Which is good. So it's gonna fly to maintain that. Climb M1 still set to 98.6. Pretty close to me. Base leg pop, 30,000 in time for an alpacatini. When is champagne service commenced? It's already started. They're going mad back there. They're having a whale of a time. Yes. So funny. Stoked. Well, we're going to be up at 43,000 feet. We haven't been up that high. Last time we were above 41,000 feet. I think must have been Concorde Stream. Not flown in ages. To be fair, I've not fired up X-Plane in a while, and having a few issues recently. I think with live weather and handling dynamics. So I'll fire it up again soon. Evergreen rich people, go figure. Eddie, who's the tech CEO in Rugged Jeans? The CEO of Rockstar. About to release GTA 6. I must confess, I pre-ordered GTA 6. It's not me to usually pre-order anything, but I was just a bit excited, so I did. At least they're quiet, yes. Rather that than rowdy passengers, that's for sure. Well, it's very quiet on Vatsum this evening. I think being a nice day in the UK, everyone's at the pub gardens. Unfortunately, got to go to work early in the morning. But having a look here on the Vatsum map. Yeah, you know what? It's not that busy. You know, for a Saturday. I mean, Frankfurt's always busy, but usually it's busier than that. I was just chilling out. Anyway, we're in French airspace now. There's no ATC at all in France. They very rarely have ATC anyway. Yeah, quite old do. Evergreen always wanted to steer the car. Yeah, not particularly. It's just one of those games which, you know, I played the entire series growing up. It's one of the biggest franchises going, largest, most expensive entertainment product ever made. It will be very good. Yes, of course, 4th of July, so all our US friends will be very busy today, lunchtime this afternoon. If used to have a passenger that would only fly drunk, scared of flying, would cancel flights if they was any kind of raining. Oh right, interesting. Yes, one thing I've noticed with this Garmin MX20 is periodically requests what the QNH is. What we're doing here, so yeah, we started off with £6,000 of fuel. We've used £400 in each engine, so 1,200 use. Current gross weight's 29,600. Yeah, the texture quality here is really nice. They're really detailed. I mean, look at the screws. Fantastic. Really nice. Eddie Member, when are we Airbusing next? Yeah, aren't any builds imminently releasing a A380? I think we'll have to take a look at that. We've not flown the A350 for a very long time. Is it still suffering from WASM crashes? We'll have to take a look. Evergreen, just put an AI voice on it, then it can call up and do it itself. Is that regarding the Airbus? Sure. Oh, don't think it's imminent. The A220 is due before the A380. Okay, cool. Ruben, I think they did a nice job choosing the avionics as well. Most of the biz jets are using modern glass cockpits. Yes, and I understand that the Dassault Falcon, is it the EX or FX or something like that, is basically this aircraft with a modern avionics suite. So I think even in their release notes they said they wanted to have that sort of classic steam gauge driven look as opposed to do what everyone else does and have a sort of glass cockpit. There's not many add-ons that or aircraft. FX or EX, whatever. EX, okay. Oh, Evergreen, yes, requesting QH. Sorry, that's what you're referencing. Yes, it'd be useful if we could update it automatically. But yeah, I think that I don't know if that's Dassault made a modern aircraft or if it was a retrofit option for operators of this variant and you could upgrade it to an EX. Not sure. HMS Derwent, apparently don't use it myself, but they went a long way with fixing WASM crashes, but it does still happen to people. Okay. Steve, have you tried the remote menu option for GNS-X yet? I haven't. My iPad, which I did use for a while with the charts app, it's sort of getting quite old now. It's very slow. So having two monitors, you know, essentially I stream with the monitor you guys are watching right now, dead in front of me, and my second monitor I have Navigraph GSX. I think GSX for me, because I don't use it often, I don't mind popping up like this. Unfortunately, if I press this button, oh, it actually hasn't done that before. It's popped that out to a separate window now, which is quite cool. Previously, it would close the streaming overlay. Anyway, but no, I don't mind popping it up there. But I did hear you can have a third-party overlay in your tablet now, which is quite cool. Or export it. Anyway, Paris should be just off to our left-hand side soon. There it is. Very nice evening in Paris. Completely clear by the looks of it. See what the weather is in Orly, which is the closest airport to the centre. Cav OK, 30 degrees down there. Very nice. Perfect. There it is. Airborne 27 minutes. Struggling that last little bit. Look, just managing about 500 feet per minute with climb thrust set. It's going to be right up to sort of the maximum level it can fly at our gross weight, which is now 29,500 pounds. And is it coming home? I mean, I'm not a mad football follower. I do watch World Cup games in England. I used to be really into football 10 years ago. I just sort of lost the passion for watching it. But I will not be watching it live at 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday. British summertime, I think would be very fortunate to win, because what was the statistic? Mexico have not lost out of the last 80-90 games. I think they've lost 2 at home. They're acclimatised to the elevation. Yeah, we'll be doing well if we've won, that's for sure. Hello Peter G Man, bonjour. Was at De Gaulle a few weeks ago during the heat wave and it was 40 with aircon that couldn't cope. Not overly fun to be honest. Yeah, the heat dome has slowly moved east over Europe. I mean, we had it last week. This time last week was very hot. It was last Friday, yeah, 37 I think we had. With no air conditioning. Well, we've got a little AC unit, but it's not capable of cooling the house. So yeah, it's much more pleasant, sort of 23, 24 now. No aircon on at the moment in the office. I've got my office window open. My thermometer in the office is 27, which is it's okay, but it's a dry heat. Was hot though last week though. My goodness. Look, just 220 knots indicated airspeed is good enough for Mach 0.74 here. We'll keep crawling up to flight level 430. Yeah, it's going to be hot next week. Ruben, you had 40. Ah. That's barbaric. Look at this auto FPS. Textures look fantastic. Getting 120 FPS. I don't even need that. I only need 60. But and there's Paris down there. Not sure if I zoom in, we'll be able to see anything. No, it looks like it's not loading in any features. Oh, there it is, beginning to load it in. Look. Where was the stream we did in Paris? Was it 3 months ago? I can't even remember what the plane was called. The Goliath, the 1990s, no, 1910, 1920s aircraft. That was a lot of fun actually. There we are. There's Paris down there. Photogrammetry not really wanting to load in this altitude, but we don't need it when we're at 40,000 feet. Now then, I think it was you, Ruben. You explained to me that I can change information here from elapsed timer, can't I? How would I do? Oh yeah, there we are. Nav data. Oh no, that's the foot. There we are. Perfect. Ground speed. True airspeed. Yeah, ground speed. That's much more useful information to have to hand. Even though we've got it here anyway. That's the one, Steve. Yeah, biscuit tin. Correct. Oh, I've ordered a new throttle quadrant as well off eBay. Someone's 3D prints them, so I'll just try and show it to you here, which is pretty cool. So I've got the Thrustmaster quadrant there, and this massive official Thrustmaster base, but it's really wide. So unfortunately, where my chair is, I can't sort of draw it in all the way forward. So I ordered off eBay this guy that makes a specialist quadrant clamp, which is pretty cool. I'll just show you there, which is a lot smaller. It's the same width as the clamp, so it should give me a little bit more space on the desk. £27, which I thought was reasonable. 3D printed, probably obviously the materials cost a lot less, but looking forward to should arrive on Monday, so give that a test out next week. Thanks for your subscription, Bro Play VR. Hope you're doing well. Gosh, he's really struggling that last sort of 1,000 feet or so. Oh, right at the maximum weight for it. I mean, I did say £30,000, we're down to 29,000. It's really struggling to get that last little bit there. Engines are at 99% M1 at climb M1. Yeah, it's a size, Steve. That's one of that smaller size just to fit on my desk a little easier. I can't believe the French actually made something so logical. Want to go. I love the altitude warning one, very cool. Basically, but what flying shoes are you wearing, Captain? I'm wearing socks right there, if you'd like to know. best just check this pressurisation. Now I know it. We knew this large needle. Looks good. Diff pressure's about 8.5 outside the red range. Cabin altitude is just under 80,000 feet. Do a fuel check. Passing COTAP here then, so 6.5 miles. There we are. So this is in pounds, 4,500 pounds. And we've got on board here, adding these needles, about 4,500. So fuel burn's looking good. And then total fuel used passing COTAP. Where have you gone off here? Should be 1,454. So about an extra 90 pounds of fuel, which makes sense because we spent a little bit of time at 10,000 feet trying to fix the autopilot logic, but we got it all sorted in the end. There we go. I know, French plate in pounds. I need to check with the developer. I think the Lars from Contrail is German as well, so I don't think this can be changed to kilos. I think it's just pounds, unfortunately. It's ultra strange. Sink the heading bow. Bit of a tailwind, crosswind from the right there, 48 knots. Come on, get me to 43,000 feet. You can do it. It's nice and smooth at least. Awesome, looks great, doesn't it? Beautiful. PSA capture. Oh gosh, the thrust has got to 101.5, that's unusual. Just took a bit of thrust off there. There we are, out capture, and then if you press the screw one more time, it will maintain the present speed. So that's a little cheat fix really, otherwise you've got to set the thrust manually, so it just basically maintains speed now. And there we are, flight level 430, Mach 0.74, it's only 206 knots indicated airspeed there. Happy days. It took us 36 minutes to get here. Yes, cheers everyone, let's raid the bar. Let's see how the passengers are in the back. Enthralled. They're going absolutely wild. There we are. Perfect. So, it does have VNAV. 29 minutes till top of descent, 219 miles. Have a little look at the weather here. I'm going to do the RMP approach regardless because it's more fun. It's a fantastic visual approach. And I want to turn off all the flight directors and fly manually. So right now, if we have a look at Nice, it's 1704 knots. Oh, you know what? They probably switched to runway 22, but I think they prefer 04 up to a 10 knot tailwind. The easiest way is having a look on flight radar to see IRL what runway they're using. Let's have a look here, flight radar. Nice. They are landing on 22. They've switched. Great. So an aircraft's just departed. Oh no, sorry, you can't see it, guys. Aircraft's just departed. Look at Transavia 73 November Yankee off runway 22. And there's an EasyJet, and you can see here we're going to fly this as well. You'll notice they're really low, so you come down here and you maintain 5,000 feet for absolutely ages on this arrival, and then you fly the approach down. I don't know if they're going in. No, they're en route to nods. So is there anyone that's just landed? There you go. See the approach they've flown? So there's the EasyJet approach. They've done this RMP visual. They followed the coastline really nicely. Don't overshoot the extended sense line. So this a beautiful RMP approach. So that's what we'll do today. Now I'm going to make those changes in the FMS now, just in case I screw it up, and it gives me time then to change it. So approach, same star, enter, waypoints of the approach. For hold on here, hold on. Alright, flight plan. Arrive, maybe. Enter. So how do I change it to right? Yeah, there was 04 left. I did look before the stream, but they have switched. So it's a Nizar 8 Romeo, regardless. Aha! There we are. Runway 242 right. Enter. Nizar 8 Tango. Select. Enter. And now we need to select the... we selected the runway. We need to select the approach type. So enter. Oh, it now says 4 left again. Hey! Ah! I'm going to erase. Please don't erase the entire flight plan. Okay, good. Nisa, it terminates here. So this is when you have an unfamiliar FMS. I'm just trying to load it. So Nisa, we then have 2 POCs. Amphu, Typic, next page. It seems to have terminated at Typic. We want it to terminate at Muz. Okay, so it looks like it's removed it at least. So let's reselect the approach. So arrival, Nisa 8 Tango. Waypoints of star Muz, then Nice. That's great. Let's go back to the flight plan now. So we've got the arrival in. We now want to select the approach. Approach. Now, runway 22 right will be... Oh, we'll do the VOR Bravo approach now. So we either have the VOR Bravo... So we'll unpin these. So option VOR Bravo, or the RMP. We don't want to do authorization required because that'll take you right down to touchdown. That's boring. So it will be this one here, but do we do either the RMP Delta, which I think is exactly the same, or the VP... No, RMP Delta or VOR Bravo. No, you'll do the RMP Delta. So we're going to select RMP Delta, so RNAV Delta, enter, via Muz transition, select, enter. So let's just check these waypoints again. Oh gosh, I don't like how it's turning all of a sudden. No, that's fine. It's routing as normal to COTIS and Google. I'm a bit nervous there. So let's just check these waypoints. So Typic, Muz, manual sequencing after Muz, that's fine, but we're going to eventually go to MN621. So what I'm actually going to do is we'll delete that waypoint. So just route direct to 261, then 260, SOTOX, Nanax. Nanax is the extended centerline point, and then we're going to go to Foxtrot November 22 Delta. Next page. And then the missed approach point is Mike November 22 Delta. And Mike November 22 Delta. And then transition to the visual segment, which is VPT Delta or Bravo? Delta. Good, starting at 1260. Alright. Pin these two here. Awesome. So, that's good. All I want to do is tell VNAV what altitudes I'd like to be at. So, SOTOX 7000 or below. Oops, I didn't select the transition, did I? Delta, there we are. So SOTOX, maximum altitude of 7,000 feet. Nanax is minimum 3,000, maximum 4,000. So I'm going to probably start descending prior to that. Foxtrot November 22 Delta. So Nanax, what I want to do is have a level segment. So I'm just going to change that from 3,000 feet or above. Enter. To make it hard, 3,000 feet. Remember, this has full VNAV, which is pretty cool. 3,000 feet, enter. There we are. So it's changed the plane crossing now to the correct altitude of 3,000 feet, which is pretty cool. Required rate of descent then, after Nanax. There should be nothing now because it's 3,000 feet to 3,000 feet, but here is the missed approach point. Enter. Yeah, 970 feet per minute required, 2.7 degrees. Okay, that sounds good. But we're going to use VS anyway to descend on this part here, so we'll fully configure. We'll discuss it later. But yeah, this is basically the RMP star, or transition after the star, to position the aircraft via Nanax onto this segment here for the approach, which is offset to the runway. When you reach the missed approach point of Mike November 22 Delta, you disconnect and hand fly along the coast onto runway 22 right. Intercept a glide path angle of 3.2 degrees. Okay, really stunning, nice approach at sunset. So there we are. FMS has been updated and changed to allow for that, and our top of descent is about 20 minutes, which we'll start setting up for the approach for. Nightbot, you need to chill out. All right. I have all the timing set to random, or after a set period of time, and then all of a sudden there's nothing, then it spits out random commands continuously one after the other. So thanks for spamming my my chat. Anyway, halfway en route, all is progressing nicely. So you have your top of descent information here, however it won't appear on the ND. Holding the speed nicely because we're quite close up to a maximum altitude for this weight, so the engines are working quite hard. N1 is up at 96% high ITT, but well below the red zone here, but sipping fuel at just under 500 pounds an hour per engine. Obviously most efficient at high altitude, these jet engines. God, I'm seeing a single cloud en route. Look at this, beautiful over France today. SD Luke, approaching Nice in real life is beautiful. Yeah, very nice along the coastline, very noise sensitive. I've never been, never flown into Nice. Done Marseille a few times, but not Nice. Yeah, very nice. Business jet. I popped this into my business jet playlist, which is very sparse. Has a few other streams in it, but there we are. Should be a nice approach. One thing that's really cool is this tablet has a replay function. So after landing, you can press this and you can replay your. Oh crap! Oh no! Get off! I think I've just paused the flight. Oof, yeah, don't do that. You can replay your takeoff and landing, which is quite nice, instead of using the inbuilt replay utility. But don't do what I did, press that button, because it pauses the simulation by the looks of it. Nearly, yeah, that was close. I could have accidentally pressed takeoff. That would have been been dreadful. I think it goes back to where you were, but still. Yeah, it's nice that it has an inbuilt replay tool. Yeah, Contrail have, for their first ever aircraft, I think they've really taken on board what users want, sort of with functionality, like the shortcuts and click spots and things like that. The external and internal model is really nice. It flies really well. The system modelling seems pretty decent. It's 29 quid. It's half the price of a lot of third-party aircraft, high-quality ones. So they're ridden really, really well. Won't be long until winter's upon us, so guys. It's been a very hot summer so far. I mean, summer only started a month ago, but it's proving to be a warm one. Oh, I've just realised it says AT. Is that the auto throttle, the default, or the sort of added auto throttle to lower your workload? I'm guessing that's what that FMA is referencing. But it does certainly lower your workload. I'll imagine Jim is manipulating the thrust levers. Awesome. Well, it looks like this new scheduled ad thing seems to be a little better. I've had no one so far complain about adverts. It's so frustrating that I found out about this. It used to be an ad-free experience, live streams, but Google's just trying to find its way to plug in as many adverts as possible. But yeah, previously on this manual mode, there would be no adverts unless the streamer put them in manually, which I never did. And 2 months ago they started plugging them in randomly. Now there's new options available called scheduled, where I think I've added it just to the maximum, or the minimum amount as possible, which is 30 minutes, one every 30 minutes. Certainly helping. Simon, you actually literally just had some ads, sorry about that. So yeah guys, it's if you look at my recent community post, it became apparent after last year's streams of people getting ads. I was like, oh, it shouldn't be. But it's YouTube have completely changed their policy, so now ads show on live streams. It's nothing I can do. Real pain, real pain. Yeah, Peter, it's you know, I get no benefit to selling premium to you, but if you use YouTube a lot, it is worth it. It is expensive as a subscription. You know, it's £16 a month, but it does get rid of all ads. I have it. I've had it for years. So I do watch a lot of YouTube in my spare time. And I do apologise, guys. It should be no more than every 30 minutes. Unbelievably, the most frequent option I could select was 6 minutes. That's ridiculous. You imagine me doing a stream and you had an ad every 6 minutes. It's just ridiculous that they give that as an option. And my understanding these are unskippable 30-second ads. I mean, it's preposterous, really. But anyway, it's the 30-minute one, I think, is the least amount I can give you, so there we are. Steve, still hot in Nice, 28 degrees, 1019 Cav. Okay, beautiful evening though. Oh, light. Is this a new option? I didn't even know that was an option. I just had premium. Does light get rid of ads? Oh, I'll just go for light then. So I don't use any of the other features. I don't download videos. I don't. Oh right, I might look at that. Save myself £8. £8 a month. Hello Martin, would you ever consider corporate flying? It's a cool job, I think. If I was young, single, I'd be more inclined to take on that job, but it's a long time away from home, which is something I don't want to really have to do, and you're really at the beck and call of whoever you're working for, be it a private client or through a corporate airline like NetJets or VistaJet. You know, you're living out of a suitcase. Oh, cool, Peter. I might downgrade my subscription then. Thanks for that. I actually flew. In the sim this week, I flew with a pilot. Well, I say I flew with a pilot. He was in the sim. I was training him. My operator has a number of courses for commando grade. So the most common commando grade process is internal, with first officers that joined as cadets after a number of years. We do a number of what we call direct entry commando grade. So these are first officers that join the airline. They've received or have the minimum amount of hours required, so 800 on type, or they need to have 1500 if they came off a turboprop. And this guy had 1500 hours, but he flew for the UN, which is really cool. He flew King Airs all over the world, Sudan, Tira, some really places, living out of a container. He said it was great, but he's getting older now. It wasn't for him, but it's really interesting to hear how all these different aviation jobs transpire. I did read all that awful news in Indonesia, where this an American pilot landed their Porter PT6 was murdered. It's just horrific. But yeah, if there's anyone out there flying, you be careful. Steve, Premium Light is a new lower price premium membership that offers fewer interruptions, so you can watch most YouTube and YouTube videos hands-free, offline and in the background. Yeah, fewer, that legal wishy-washy word. Alright, okay. I'll look into it, I'll consider it. Anyway, we best start doing some work. This is going to be an epic approach. 12 minutes to go, guys. So, setting this aircraft up, especially if it's an RMP, won't have much to do. There's no nav aids to tune. There's no sort of courses. Oops, that's my yoke cam. So, FMS, it has VNAV. It's based off a fixed glide path angle as opposed to an idle path descent. So we'll just have to manipulate the thrust to manage the speed, but essentially the star we're flying today is the NISAR 8 Romeo. So if I go here to fly plan, starting at NISAR, then if I go to the next page, 1830 Zulus, we're there in 16 minutes. We need to be below 340, Exerbi 320. Hold on, we've got two POCs here. Oh no, so we're actually doing the NISAR 8 Tango, sorry, different arrival. So NISAR 8 Tango, so two POCs 320. If I select VNAV, you can see all the altitudes as well coded. 2 POCs 320, AMFU 16,000 feet or below, or 160, then to Typics, reduce speed to 250 below 120, and then the Mike Uniform Sierra NDB to be at above flight level 80, which we can actually tune here. I'll give the chart section, that's 428. Don't see many ADF tuners on modern built jet airliners these days. Oops. There we are, NDB's tuned 428, initial approach fix as well. From there, we're going to fly the RMP Delta, which is actually a heading. See, it says manual sequence. So what I'm going to do is actually delete that and just go direct to Mike November 621. So I'll go here to fly plan. How do I delete waypoints? I guess clear. Erase. Oh gosh. I don't want to. I think that's going to erase the flight plan. Not to worry. I think what I'll do is I'll just go manual sequence and then route direct. So you got this button here, and then I'll just direct Mike November 261. Anyway, after Mike November 261, Mike November 260, SOTOX below 7,000. I'll probably just use VS and do a very gradual descent here, and then we'll switch to SOTOX left turn to be level at 3,000 feet by Nanax. Nanax then is the extended centre line before we get to Foxtrot November 22 Deal, which is the 22 Delta, which is the FAF. So I'm going to get nice and low to 3,000 feet. Nanax is 3 miles before the initial approach fix, so I'll then configure gear down, extend the flaps, get to a final approach speed. Obviously we're burning fuel, but we can expect a final approach speed today of around, if I select landing here, 120 knots, 118, VREF 113, and we'll then fly down the FAF 3 degree path, I think it is, yeah, 3 degree path. We'll descend from 3,000 feet down to the minimum at 1260, which is 1248. So the MDA you can set using this, but it's obviously based off a radio altitude. This altimeter has a very funky minimum selector. How it works, I'm not entirely sure, but you can rotate this. I guess you got 500 feet. I don't think this lights anything. I'm not sure, but how on earth I set that to 1260? I have absolutely no idea. What I'll do, I'll set it to like this. Does that want to go? The red is your minimums? Really don't know. Need to look that up in the manual. But anyway, 1260 RVR or visibility requirement 5,000 meters. Target rate of descent's there as well. There's no altitude distance cross checks, but you sort of level off at the MDA, and you're essentially waiting to get to Mike November 22 Delta. So we'll level off, set the missed approach altitude, which is 3,000 feet, and then we will hand fly raw data. 1260, mandatory 1,000 feet crossing this part of the coastline, and then we intercept the glide path descent. We mustn't cross the extended centre line for noise. Very sensitive noise here. So PAPI's mandatory. The PAPIs are offset from runway centre line to allow you to see them easier. I don't know if that's actually modelled or not. I seem to be okay seeing them as they approach here. And in we go. Beautiful approach. Runway 22 right then, it's 2,628 metres, landing distance was slightly less. If I go to the airport page here. Oh gosh, lots of briefing charts here. So landing distance available in feet beyond threshold, 8,136. This thing, no problem. If I go here, you can see we're going to stop in 3,175, so at least half the runway length. So the plan is to land and we'll vacate at the first convenient exit to the right, which will, Foxtrot's ambitious, most likely be uniform, and then taxi onto stand. There we are. So we'll use VNAV for the initial parts of the descent. Top of descent is 7 minutes away, and then once we get onto the approach phase, we'll use nav mode for the lateral routing, and then VS to descend after the FAF to the MDA, which is pretty cool. Eddie, the Kenya, the premium plan is £2.89. Big jump in price then between different regions of the world. Peter, you recommend the Sheraton Nice Airport has a nice pool, close to trams, to the city centre. More importantly for me, it has a good view of the airport. Very cool. Yeah, Peter, that's the timing of this approach, 5:30. It should be right on sunset. Right on sunset. Very nice. Awesome. Perfect. It's a really pretty aircraft, isn't it? Beautiful. It's got massive anhedral, doesn't it? The horizontal stabilizer. I mean, this would have been built and tested in a wind tunnel. Awesome. Mini 727. It is. Awesome stuff. So we'll get ready to start descent in 5 minutes. Don't think. Oh no, it does load them on both FMSs independently, which is quite cool. So next waypoint is Liquid 1822 Zulu. So 1 minute LATAM, and then if I select the VNAV pages here, you got all the altitude restrictions. So first restriction we'll set as NISAR 340 below. So send 9,000 free for flight level 430. Decent ground speed, 452 knots. Awesome. One hour airborne. They're still enjoying the ride. Yeah, HMS Daring One expensive, huh? Steve, I didn't get a chance to look at the night lighting. If I remember after landing, I'll make it dark. I'll have a quick look. I think it looks the lighting's pretty decent from what I've seen the screenshots. Martin, do you ever think in your career you'll ever command a supersonic aircraft? Thoughts on the boom overture aircraft? I don't think so. I mean, I'm very much staying put at my operator. As a Thierry LTC, I'm sort of as met my career goal, and I'm very happy with the work-life balance that offers. I don't know if my operator would ever consider buying a supersonic jet. Don't think so. I mean, you never say never, but for me to move airline, I don't know. Do you think it's been in? Obviously, boom overture is in development. Whether we'll actually see it anytime sort of soon, I don't know how they're getting on. They built that sort of little sort of concept, haven't they, with a little single seat, looks like a fighter jet, and they went to a Mach 1.3, didn't they? But I don't think I'll have a go. I think my My daughter's just getting ready for bed through it at the moment. She gets her teeth brushed every night, which she accepts and opens her mouth, but she particularly enjoys it. Anyway, adds to the streaming experience. Anyway, we've got 2.6 minutes till descent, 2.5 minutes now. What we'll do is follow the recommended guidance in the checklist. So basically, starting the descent, recommends utilising VS, start a gradual descent, and then convert to VNAV once on path. Sync the heading bug. Don't think we'll get any ATC this evening, guys. There's the Alps off to the left. Very nice. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in this evening. Very chill vibe, very quiet stream. I do have some annual leave coming up, which is quite nice. We're not going away, as my wife is heavily pregnant with number 2, as you all well know, and having a quiet one, so hopefully squeeze in an extra stream or two. We'll start our descent once we get to around 1 minute. We'll just start it going down. So what I'll do is double check that restriction. Flight level 340. So I'll preset the altitude here. PSA is armed. Steve, brilliant. Yeah, that is true. That is true. 1 minute to go. So what I'm going to do is use vertical speed. That's engaged, and you have a little ability to rotate the screw to start it down. So just start it down at 500 feet per minute, take a little bit of thrust off, just to maintain 0.74 to start with. You know what this airspeed indicator needs is like a trend vector. See if you're going slowing down or speeding up. It's quite hard to read. It's very unique in the fact that speed tape doesn't move, but your speed does here. It goes up and down. Oh yes, we do, Steve. There we are. Started our gradual descent. Just to get about a bit of thrust, about 90.5%. There we are. It's gone into path descent. There we are. Path's coming down, so I can now on VNAV. VNAV's engaged. Now it's going to follow. Oh, it's a bit aggressive pitching down. Boah, that'll make you feel sick. Boah. Yeah, it's quite an aggressive pitch down, but it's going down. A bit more thrust off now to maintain around 220 knots, 7.6. There we go. Perfect. I love the trijets and having the 3 thrust levers here, manual thrust. It's really cool. Manipulating all the engines individually. It's good, Steve. Not with us at the moment, but yeah, he's doing okay in the heat actually. Just keep him nice and cool. It's the cold that usually gets him. Sun's going down. Now, thrust settings nicely holding the speed. Remember, this isn't an idle path descent like you get with the 7.3, so it's sort of based off a fixed glide path angle. And you just adjust the thrust to maintain your target speed, which is close to idle in this case. Awesome, so ATIS we've obtained, anti-icing required. Our temperature is still set to standard, landing computations are complete. We've bugged our approach speeds on the standby airspeed indicator. Completed the approach briefing and the radio altimeter we won't set because it's obviously based off a an altitude and an MDA. Good. We'll start adding a bit more thrust to a bit of a slightly higher speed descent. Peter, yeah, we flew the quad jet, the RJ, 2 or 3 months back in Colombia. We went to that really interesting airport. I can't remember the name of it now, but nearly went off the end of the runway. Pretty sketchy, to be honest. It's good fun though. Anyway, approaching Nice after the next waypoint. Remember, this path is working to get us below 340 at Nice. And we'll put the next level now, which at 2 pox. There we are, just come onto the chart. It's full at level 200 or above. So I'm going to set 200 now. That way we're stepping down as per the air start. Just add a little bit more thrust. Target speed and descent here looks like it's about 280 knots. I want to be trying to do the blue arrow if I can, best as I can. Add a bit more thrust. Oh, accelerating now. Jack is 11.5 years old. He'll be 12 next year. Now, on to the Nice 8 Tango we go. Oh, stunning. The visuals in the sim of atmosphere is so good. Basically, Bob Rosie is a lab and she's now 6 years old, both very good co-pilots. Aww, beautiful. Can't beat a lab. You know, we dread the day. You know, Jack's an old boy and we look after him very, very well. I dread the day, but I think personally I will have another dog, but when our kids are older. That's the next part of my life now, and then we'll have dogs again in the future. Oh, traffic there on TCAS, 500 feet descending and just below. Further add thrust as we descend. Very shallow descent actually in this 3.5 path, so I'm having to add a lot of thrust, well, like 90%. Let's have a quick look here, see if we can identify the traffic. Oh, just off to our left. Yes, it's slightly behind the centre there. They're going into Nice as well in an Airbus A320, 482 knots ground speed. They're going a little bit faster than me. They must be doing the other arrival. They must be doing the Nice 8 Romeo. They've broken off. Let's see if we can see them. Only 500 feet below. Just trying to gauge where they are on the map. Just a bit further behind. To our left hand side. Can't see them, guys. Oh look, you can see the passengers on the external view. I didn't realise that. That's so cool. I didn't realise GSX showed the passengers on the external view. No way. I'd have loved to have that when I was starting simming and I was about 8 years old. The ability to have passengers. Unbelievable. Oops. Let's keep an eye on our target speed there. Take a bit of the thrust off, but we're at it now. About 290 knots. Just as expensive from the other side. Yeah, they're pretty thrilled to be on this flight 2 tons. Yeah, will be base leg bob, will be. Absolutely HMS Daring 1 and champing at Labrador and being always treated with as much love and affection as possible. It's great round outdoors, so good. I'd never leave them alone together, but he is so good. Yeah, Pete, I've noticed that sometimes it's quite difficult to spot the traffic on VATSIM in the cruise. but on the ground they seem to all be there. All those beautiful sunset colours are coming into view now. Turn up the lighting. Yeah, that's better. Oh, maximum lighting for everything. There we go. Okay, approaching 2 pox, 200 or below. Next waypoint left turn to Amphi at below 160. So we'll set that now. Yeah, a little bit of chasing with the flight director. Yeah, if we actually save the camera. This is a lovely view here. You've got all the flight information and a window view. There, I'll reset the camera. Amazing. Awesome stuff, guys. Well, if you just tuned in, welcome aboard. We're in the Contrail Falcon FA50, flying from Farnborough in the UK to Nice Côte, close to Monaco. This iconic trijet. We're going to be flying the beautiful VPT visual approach off the RP Delta. It's going to be stunning, but as long as I don't screw it up. Alipay, your stream makes you want to take the Challenger 650 for a spin. Do it! BizJets are great because they're very versatile. You can take them to much shorter, challenging airfields all over the world, which you can't take a commercial jet airliner into. Airboss says nice for Nice. Nice. Welcome. Nice high speed descent. 316 knots indicated. We'll do it. We'll take it. Speed restrictions coming up after Amphi to Tipex max 250, and we can step down to flight level 120. So the rate of descent started increasing slightly. Fuel's good. Just over £3,300. We needed 2,100 to divert to Marseille. I don't think so, Alipay. Best thing to do is check the website. I don't know if we have a shortcut command for the livery website. I think we do, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think it's liveries or something like that. I don't think we have a Challenger 650, but I happily would like to be corrected if that's not the case. Gosh, look at the target indicated airspeed now, 330 knots. I think I've got it in the high speed descent mode, love it. Livery, yes, exclamation mark livery, thanks 2 times. Check that website, I cannot tell you off the top of my head if we have one. Now, Simbear, one of my members, talked about something called JetCard. I think it's a third-party software which allows you to start a virtual corporate airline. Whether I'll get time around to looking at that, I'm not sure. Aerosoft have actually sent me something quite cool. They sent me this add-on which allows you to do sort of missions in emergency, unlike the campaign mode, like randomly generated emergency missions in default aircraft. I think you can even choose your own aircraft, so I might look at that at some point. Something a little bit different. Airboss, the top of the lane where the only water is sparkling water, yes. Love that. Actually didn't do a cabin tour, did we? Well, we see looking at the passengers, but yes, obviously there's the cabin. A coffee and gold lined cups. Oh, there's this high sheen wood. Logged. So don't forget everything's clickable back here. There is a coffee machine, but again it's just a 3D model. And obviously interactive passengers with GSX with some fizzy pop, beer, and they haven't moved since joining this aircraft, and the rear toilet is not a model, but it's there. It looks nice. Looks nice. Let's get back in the business end anyway as we approach Nice. Amphi 160 is the next clear level, and actually what I'm going to do is step right down to 80 and was set. And if we select ADF here, yes, I think it's already picked up the Mike Uniform Sierra NDB. Look, you can see it's pointing towards the beacon. And we can now reduce the range. You'll see after Muz, there's a blank line in between Muz and the arrival because it's a vector. So what I'll do after Typics, and we'll reduce our speed to 250 knots, I'll go direct to the first RMP waypoint to avoid that vector heading. Anyway, I'll start reducing the speed. Falcon FA50 experts, I'm not sure if there's any still around. Any idea how to convert the speed bug back into indicated airspeed? I have no idea how to do that. So I was trying to work that out the other day and I could not see how to do it. Anyway, about to Typics. Seatbelt signs and no smoking signs can come back on. Airbus, what's the maximum takeoff weight for this aircraft? It is, in pounds, 40,800, which, divide that by 2.2, it's 18.5 tonnes. Paul, you're struggling with the Moser throttles AP6 setup, very cool, but you'll have to probably look online to do that. That sounds very exciting. I think I got an email from Moser buried in my flight deck sim inbox asking if I'd like to try out some of their peripherals, but time permitting, I'll have a look. Yeah, Pete, the VNAV path is very inefficient. 28% M1, yes. I mean, that's more me trying to maintain this high speed, to be fair, but it's efficiency, I don't think is the aim of the game in this aircraft. Anyway, approaching Typics and DB. Afterwards, Mike Uniform Sierra. There's the south coast of France, looking very nice. Nice over in that direction. Up here, there's the bay. Good. Typics, I need to be max 250, so let's start reducing speed. Thrust to idle. Yeah, I need to work out how to bug 250 knots indicated, not a Mach number. Awesome. Yeah, that's the mode I want. Oh, you found the you're on an NG Airbus and the A320 was louder. You enjoyed the 7.3. You wait until you jump into a Max. Max is much quieter than the NG. That's 250 knots, so just adding thrust to maintain 250 in VNAV. Manual thrust, so workload is high. Cool, inbound to the Muz NDB. So, I'm going to take this opportunity to imagine we're talking to Nice arrivals, and this star takes us from the NDB to a vector towards Mike November 621, but what I'm going to do is simply route direct to Mike November 621 now. So I'll press direct. Oh gosh, it's got the entire routing here. Next page. There it is. Mike November 261. Enter. Okay, there we are, and you can see the aircraft turning. Cool. Inbound to Mike November 621. Pretty much still on path. Maximum flight level 120. And it looks like it's leveled off, which is fine, it's the most efficient thing to do, but what we're going to do is continue descending in VS to 8,000, or flight level 80, which is the lowest here. Typically you probably get ATC asking you to descend quicker, or it's a very busy airspace here. So I'm going to go VS, and then you can rotate this knob as a shortcut to set your target rate of descent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is set about 500 feet per minute. We're going to get below VNAV path, but that's absolutely fine. Oh my gosh, and this is what I mean, you've got to maintain situation awareness at all times. Look at my speed, 195 knots. Ah, gosh. It's really, really challenging, and the design of the speed tape on this aircraft, and whoa, gosh, you've got to have your wits about you. It doesn't take much of a distraction, because obviously the aircraft leveled off, add thrust. to maintain speed. Where's that traffic? I think it's very close to it. Close to me. Oh look, they're continuing towards Buzz. I'm taking a little shortcut, so we'll have to do some unicopping soon. Cool. Yeah, back to 250. A good recovery. Interestingly, the VNAV is still showing on path. Yeah, it's pretty much matching my target rate to descent, I think. But, so I'll just keep it descending nice and gently. So we're now inbound to Mike November 621. I want to be flight level 80 by then. 1848, so 4 minutes. I want to be at 80, so I've only got 3,000 feet to lose in 4 minutes. So we'll just increase that rate of descent slightly, probably around 800 feet per minute. A bit more thrust off. There we are, passing on level 110 to 80. I'll just do the post-cruise checks now. So local is going to come high, so fuel's okay. Checked 2,100 pounds for Marseille. That's sufficient. Pressurization, diff pressure is dropping, and it's still showing coming out at 8,000 feet and decreasing. Set, belts on, checks complete, no annunciations. 260 knots, watch my speed. Someone's talking about heat waves affecting touchdown. Yeah, on hot days you get a lot of thermal activity, which can certainly upset the aircraft close to the ground. Oh, it's a funny looking picture on the ND. What's this white arrow here? I think that's the NDB. Yeah, I think it's pointing this white arrow to the NDB. How do I turn that off? I don't think it's course. Is it bearing? Yeah, there we are. Off. There we are. There's just been too much clutter on the ND. So it's dipping below path. That's absolutely fine because it's trying to maintain level flight. I'm trying to do a gentle VS approach, or a CDA using VS. I've set my thrust nicely to maintain about 250 knots. Post cruise checks complete. Look at the views. Wow, stunning. Airbus, yeah, I've been flying the MAX now for a number of years, and it's the safest, most scrutinised commercial jet airliner ever made. I wouldn't fly if it was unsafe. I've been flying it through, so I've not had a single technical issue. Or if I had, it would be very minor. So I'll tell you now, check you can fly that aircraft with confidence. Awesome. So, after Mike November 621, we're going to continue to 612. That max 185 knots is for the missed approach look, so we're not going to have to comply with that. But we'll continue after SOTOX. We'll step down to a maximum of 70. I'm going to probably start descending down nice and gently to 3,000 feet. More to go. Minimum is 80, so I'll just wait until we're right on top of Mike November 61, 7 miles to run until that waypoint before we step down to the next minimum altitude of 3,000 feet. There's the airport. Stunning. What a time to come in. Reduce that rate of descent slightly. More thrust to maintain 250 knots. Yeah, exactly, Steve, exactly what you said. The scrutiny it received and what happened before with MCAS is now not going to happen again. That's nicely drawing up back on our cap. Look, it's just captured the altitude, so we might just do a little dive there, but we now have 1 mile to run, so we can step down to 3,000 feet and continue to descend using vertical speed. Cool. 400 feet per minute, that's fine. Left turn inbound, Nanax Oh, actually, this route's 260, then Sotok, sorry, then Nanex. Great. So we'll continue descending to 3,000 feet. Platform altitude is also 3,000. So you can use a little bit of speed, distance, time calculations. Nanax, we want to be at 3,000 feet. We're going to be there at 53, so that's 5 minutes. So I've got 5 minutes to get to 3,000 feet. We're just past 8. So 1,000 feet per minute should do us. 1,100 feet, so we have a little bit of a level segment as well. So let's set 1,100 feet here. So again, using the VS, 1,100 feet. Actually, 1,200 is a bit late there. Perfect, and just reduce a bit more thrust to maintain 250 knots. Set QNH, 1019er, passing 7,800 for 3,000 feet. Standby altimeter is set. Cool, looking good so far, guys. East off to our 9 o'clock. There's the airport. Now, this is also an airport that's part of one of the world updates in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so it's much better than the default offerings, which is quite nice. HMS Daring 1, yeah, always doing little mental maths, basic speed, distance, time calculations. Obviously, with the NG and the MAX and the modern avionics, we can say modern. It's 30 years old, but compared to this, you know, with VNAV, the ability to fly idle path descent is much easier. It's a lot higher here. Anyway, we'd best go on Unicom because there is traffic around. 122.8, and there is a aircraft directly behind. Yeah. Oh gosh. Just noticed there's a couple of other aircraft here. Oh, they're on route to Katowice, by the looks of it. Anyway, they're right behind us. We're ahead, so that's good. Speed's good. Nice. Nice traffic. This is Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra Falcon FA50. We are right hand down in Nice for runway 22 right. Find the RMP Delta approach. Where's the tablet at? Put it away. It's down here.
Traffic behind you, Speedbird 336 for the RMP Zulu. From TCAS, I think we have 8 miles between us currently. Can slow down.
Roger, maintain 250 knots. I'll be reducing in about 3 miles.
I'm currently flying 220, and before India November 22 Zulu will be slowing down to 180 and down slower.
Roger, and we're making a left turn, doing a slightly different approach to RMP Delta, so we're making a left turn on base in about 1 minute.
Roger.
Perfect, so that's great. It's exactly what Unicom's designed to do, coordinate with other traffic online. The Speedbird behind us is aware of us, which is good. And we just made aware of our intentions on TCAS. Great, so 2 to go, and we're now going to start reducing speed. So we're approaching Sotok, so going to make the left turn now to Nanax. Maximum 4,000 feet, minimum 3,000. Oh, it's absolutely stunning, this simulator. I just... Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'll start reducing speed now. The maximum slat extension speed in the Falcon is 200 knots, so clean speed's a little bit below that, I think. Does it say on that little tablet? No, I don't think it does give you the clean speed. Maybe on the takeoff page, but yeah, 133 knots is clean speed. It's so slow. It's crazy. Alright, cool. Approaching Nanax 3,000 feet, and we're going to have a level segment here. 1 to go, and we're going to obviously capture this altitude. Okay, look at the landing checklist. Hydraulics are checked, brake selector is set to on, taxi lights are all on. Wipers not required, air brake we'll use, and that's it. Select air start. Perfect. Alrighty, perfect. Nanax 3,000 feet. We now have a 3-mile level segment. Perfect altitude. And if you look here at the top here, this is the vertical profile we're following. Target rate of descent, probably about 700 feet per minute. We're going to start configuring and slowing down. So 3,000 feet, PSA capture. We'll start slowing down probably to around 165 knots. Next thing we're waiting for is 2 miles before Foxtrot November 22 Delta. Just coming up here, so approaching descent, out holds. Pull this to the altitude, 1,300 feet set. 187 knots, we'll select the slats. Oh, look at this, guys. There's the trimmer. Next will be gear down flaps 20. Oh, I'd say about 160 knots. 1 mile to go. 160 knots. Target rated descent will be about 800 feet per minute. So 0.5 miles. I'll select vertical speed. 0.3, 0.2, 6.2. Let's start going down at about 800 feet per minute. So vertical speed. So there's the FAF. 3,000 feet, no flags. Altitude checks, no flags. Drop the gear. Flaps 20, reducing to a final approach speed, which will be 120 knots. There's no altitude distance cross checks for this approach. The idea is you level off at the MDA nice and early, and then continue visually. We're going to level off at 1,300 feet. If you look at flight radar, all the aircraft fly this exact approach. You have to show us the outside view. We're going to do some replays of the landing, but there we are, guys. Oh, look at that. Should take that for a screenshot competition. Anyway, I need to concentrate on what we're doing. Checked, what to go. Select landing flap. What's our final approach speed again? VRF 111. Right, I'll probably fly at 115. So slow. Some thrust there. So Mike November 22 Delta, that's the missed approach point. Still 3.3 miles to go. We can certainly reduce our VS now. About 500 feet per minute. That's the Browning machine gun. 150 knots at our final approach speed. Again, the aircraft probably the pro crew would configure a little later, but I want it nice and stable, nice and early. Very hard to land with the sun in your face like this, especially if it's misty and hazy. Okay, established nicely at the final approach speed. Very happy with my seating position. We're approaching the missed approach point here in 2 miles. And then we're going to fly this VPT Delta from 1,300 feet. Mandatory 1,000 feet before turning final. We're looking good to manage all that today. So, match the heading. I'm just going to briefly go heading select. I'm still laterally flying the correct path. PSA caps, we're just going to level off at the MDA for a second until we pass the missed approach point in 1 mile's time. So add some thrust in to maintain speed. Beautiful. Out capture, MDA 1,300 feet, missed approach point is in half a mile, and we're visual. Runways in, well, I say runways in sight, it's hardly see it in the simulator, but we're happy. Great! Let's continue. Disconnect heading and disconnect altitude and turn off the autopilot and yaw damper one back on. Perfect, yaw damper's on. There we go. So we're now continuing visually. My aeroplane, 115 knots. Golf Tango Sierra's base leg runway 22 right, turning final in 30 seconds.
K36 is base as well, we'll reduce to final approach speed.
Perfect. So, continue descending to 1,000 feet. The runway's off to the left-hand side, and we just basically follow the coastline round. This is where the limitations in the sim become apparent. We should hopefully see the pappies. There we are. 3 whites, 1 red. 2 whites, 1 red. Actually, I'm a little smidge low, so I'm not going towards the runway yet. Just almost level off here. Checked. Don't forget to set the missed approach altitude 3,000 feet. Forgot to do that. It's really hard to do. I'll leave it. So again, I'm just going to crank my head round here. Don't cut the corner too early. Also, don't want to overshoot the extended centre line. Speed's a bit high. We're doing 115 knots. Probably one of the most beautiful approaches in the world. This. Ah, looking fantastic, guys. corners slightly, but it looks good. 118 knots, 3 knots too fast, so just take a little bit of thrust off. There we are. Don't overshoot the extended sense line, Sam. Little bit past the sense line. Not meant to overshoot, but correcting now. Through your head, so pitch up a bit. Way too fast now, 120 knots. Good. Make sure she's in trim. 3 wides, pitch down. Perfect, back on the vertical profile. The crossing from the left. Again, just keep correcting onto the centre line, correcting speed. 3 wides again. Come on. Oh, 4 wides. Yeah, immediately correct. God, yeah, the pitch couple was a bit different. It has hardly any thrust pitch couple, I think. Oh, I don't think my seating position is quite right. There we are. I can actually see the pappies now. On speed. Jet.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Flare. Oh, alright, reverser number 2. Speed brake extended. Gently lower those. Just gone idle reverse for noise. 100 knots, 80 knots. Bit of manual braking. Perfect. Keep rolling because that traffic on short final. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nice. Just saw that comment in chat. No sparkling water dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nice. Yeah, nice approach. One of the most beautiful approaches you can do here. And I got a little bit high at one point, briefly 4 wides, but you know, immediately corrected onto that vertical profile. No more than 1,000 feet per minute. You can get away with this aircraft. 1,000 feet per minute quickly gets you back on path. And for Nice traffic, Golf Tango Sierra vacated, runway 22 right. Awesome! That was fantastic. Really enjoyed that. I think the aircraft might landed anyway, or got around. Well, he's felt very quiet. Has he got around or has he landed? Cheeky cheeky! There we are. Anyway, where's all the business jets parked? We'll go on the parallel taxiway here. I think they're all over here. Look, I've not actually ever been to Nice before. Look at all. Oh my god, are these all for business jets? My goodness me. There we are. Right, let's clean up the aircraft. I hope you enjoyed that. Look, guys, I don't fly this aircraft in real life. I only picked it up last week from Contrail, so I hope you, you know, enjoyed it. Made a bit of a meal of it at times, but you know, I practiced the checklists and the real world briefing. I thought it was really nice to fly a challenging approach here. Actually, I think we flew the RMP approach pretty accurately as per the vertical profile, but there we are, we're nicely down. Right, where on earth do I park? That is, this must be all for business jets. I've never actually been here, but I didn't realise. I think this is a massive business jet hub, but obviously Monaco around the corner, haven't you? Right then, let's do a bit of a clean up then. So, flight start, come off. Landing light can come off. Strobes to red only. And what we'll do is, sorry, I didn't realise all the charts up there. I'll just take one of these multiple remote stands, I think, but we'll choose somewhere suitable. Master APU gen on. No, not continuous stream. I've got to go to work tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, even the bus time. Keep forgetting to do that. I love these little prompts to remind you what to do. Awesome. Yeah, should we park it all the way at the end here? Stand whatever. Let's take. I think actually. Oh no, we're already on past it now. Remote stands do we have here off to the left? We'll take one of these remote stands that we've got 37 Bravo 143 might be a gate. 35 Delta, we're just coming up. I'll take that. No, I'll work it out. press. There it is. Oh, there's the marshaller. How's he marshalling me? I'm confused. 35 Bravo Charlie. Oh, I think I'm coming in the wrong way. No, I'm not. Am I? No, I think it's... Is that it? Which way is he facing? Yeah. I think I'm coming in the wrong way. I'll just cross the apron. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. All good. All good. Professional. Professional streamer. Never, ever doing anything wrong. Right. Taxi inflow. Stowed the reversers. Anti-ice can come off. Oh, it's like he was expecting us to come in from this direction. Anti-ice off. Let me just get onto stand first. Oi. There we are, perfect. Oh, he wants me to go right. Happy, sir? Happy? Right a bit. Right a bit more. There we are. I thought so. Off. 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 Ah. Right. Parking brake is set. APU's on the bus running already. Weather radar. Yeah, don't forget to turn that off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nice Côte. There we are. There we are. Massive Airbus A320 and his big jet. Requested boarding. There we go. We made it in one piece. Very, very good. Really enjoyed that, guys. I hope you did too. Something a bit different to the normal non-corporate jet flying, but I think GSX is waiting for me to open the door. So we'll get these passengers to their party. They cannot wait. They're super excited to get off the plane, that's for sure. There we are.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Your bus is arriving to take you to Monaco so you enjoy the party. Anyway, here we got here in chat. I should be able to do a replay. Remember, this has an inbuilt replay tool, so we can utilise that to watch that buttery smooth landing. I was very pleased with that. Nice flight, no pun intended. Cheers, Steve. Peachy Man. I didn't pay out pack executive to park 5 miles away. Sorry, yes, you were meant to be right at the gate, weren't you? All the way to the end of the arrival. Yeah, should have gone right to the end on one of those remote stands. That was brilliant. Yeah, 500 stable close enough. Yeah, it was just about there. I got a little bit high at the end, but what happened was I think I reduced thrust to bring the speed up, and I instinctively went to pitch up a bit because of the thrust pitch couple, and that put me high. I think on this aircraft there is no thrust pitch couple with the position of the engines, so I think that caught me out muscle memory with the 7.3 a bit. But no, I made a nice pitch input. What on earth are you doing? Nice pitch input to recover, at least. But yeah, nice smooth landing. Very, very nice indeed. Beautiful sunset, beautiful approach. Perfect approach this evening. Oh, there they go. Oh, I don't think... Where are these passengers? Are they stowaways? Oh my gosh, we've got passengers spawning randomly in top of each other. My goodness, she got onto her coat. There we are. Oh, children! We had children on board, so even wear off. Bye bye. They're whining in the toilet. Oh my gosh, she's a giant. There we are. Is that the passengers off but not off? There we are. I'm not sure if corporate jet passengers would appreciate going on one of these buses. They want to be on one of those Mercedes Sprinter vans with leather jackets. Oh, I just realised my speed brake's still extended. Alright, well you guys can stay on board overnight, whatever you want. There we are. Mark Scott wants the steward's number. Well, these guys are not getting off at all. Oh, they are staying the speed brakes. Right, okay, fair. Anyway, how do I end this stream? We'll do some replays, look at the landing. We'll make sure we log off of VATSIM here. Shame we couldn't have any ATC. But yeah, this approach, we should come back into this airport, the 7.3, and set up a flight as we did in that aircraft, because that'd be really cool. But it really worked nicely following the approach profile. Very much enjoyed flying and doing a bit of a non-standard approach as opposed to a default ILS. Anyway, let's look at the replay. So I'll just get rid of my flight data screen here, and we'll turn off that music and cue the funky replay music. I've not done this for a while. I did try it yesterday and it did work quite nicely. So hold on, I've just realised all my Replay music is not turned up from the last time I used it. There we are. Perfect. So, go to your tablet, press replay, and yeah, look, it's 1 minute 13 seconds autosave. So press. If I can just rewind this. Oh, what's happened? Oh gosh, if I drag that one, it doesn't work. I think it only does 5 minutes anyway. Anyway, let's just press landing replay. There you go, look. Stows the stairs. I don't know if you have to load any of the panel states up. Yeah, no, it does everything. The engine's running as well. Let's have a look at that landing, because it was a bit buttery. Oh, night lighting, yes. I'll have a look at that, Steve, after landing on this one. A bit quiet, I think, just because of the nature of the replay. Oh, look at the replay timing the music and touchdown. Can't teach that. Did you notice the drop of the beat and the gear touching down was timed perfection? I didn't even plan that. What's the chances? Did you hear that? Sorry, I got me a bit excited. Nice landing. I'll take it. Perfect. Amazing. That's a classic. It's a shame we glided in by the sounds of it. Got the sounds inside, but externally no sounds. Professional streamer, I know. Night lighting, let's have a quick look here. I hope it works okay with the... There we are, looks very nice. Got the overhead panel lights turned down, but I don't know if with the replay it works here. I can't actually see the lighting controls squinting, but no doubt external lights are very, very nice anyway. At Nice Airport, but looks like the replay's ended. But I don't know where the lighting controls are, but the night lighting in the cockpit does look very, very nice, Steve. Right then, so what I'll do is utilise the tablet to replay the landing again, press play, go back to live time again. There we are. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, look, there's the 4 Ys immediately corrected. And in real life, you know, as long as you immediately correct like that, and you know, you want to make a judgment call, you know, that's acceptable. It just briefly was at 4 Ys for about a second, and then you can see like the pitch inputs being made to get back onto the vertical profile. D2 Annie, why don't you buy the Moser yoke? Well, I've got the Thrustmaster yoke, that's why. But I have, I believe, a yoke request review from Moser. But isn't it massive? Like, you need a huge box to sit on my desk. Look, if you look at the size, I don't know where to put that. So I'll consider it. Oh, I stopped my replay music accidentally, but there we are. It's because I changed scene. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'll put you in this wing view. In fact, no, I'm going to start the replay one more time. Once again, thank you very much to Contrail for giving me the opportunity to showcase their fantastic Falcon FA50, available now from Contrail directly. Very reasonable price, £29, and you can also... Right, can't access the tablet. Can't actually do a landing. Very reasonable £29, but you can get 10% off through my affiliated link in the chat pinned comment if you so wish. I can't restart the replay. Maybe if I press tab. That will work. Pause, play, stop, play. That'll do, perfect. Anyway, once again, thank you to all the members for your continued support. To all the subscribers, thanks for popping in today. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you on another live stream very, very soon. Bye.